Hi, welcome to this video. In this video, I will discuss DOM or Document Object Model. When you open a web page in your browser, the browser retrieves the page's HTML text and parses it. The browser builds up a model of the document structure and then uses this model to draw the page on the screen. This model is called DOM or Document Object Model. The DOM is the collection of objects that allows you to work with HTML code of a web page using JavaScript. You can read, write, change, and remove from this DOM model. It acts as a live data structure. When it is modified, the page on the screen is updated to reflect the changes. As you are now familiar with the document object in JavaScript, the document object is the property or child object of the top level window object. The document object represents a web page loaded in the browser and it serves as an entry point into the web page's content. The DOM model is constructed as a tree of HTML objects by the browser. The DOM tree includes elements such as the root HTML element, the head and the body elements, and many others. I have already set up a simple HTML document for you. This is a very simple HTML document. This document includes the root HTML element, and inside the root HTML element I have the head and the body elements. Inside the head element I have title element. Inside the body element I have heading element, some paragraph elements, an unordered list element, user input element, the image element, the anchor element, and a script element referring to the myscript.js file. HTML elements can have attributes associated with them, like the ID attribute is associated with the heading element, the class attribute is associated with the paragraph element, and these are also attributes like type, name, value, which are associated with the user input element. The HTML code you write is actually not the DOM or document object model. This HTML code is parsed by the browser and turned into the document object model. I will open this HTML document inside the browser. I will open the index.html file and this will show up the web page. There is another version of your HTML code which is source code. If you right click and select view page source, it will show you the source code of this web page. This source code just show you the HTML that makes up that web page. It is probably the exact HTML that you wrote. So remember, the HTML code you write and the view source is not the document object model. The browser creates a document object model of your web page. The HTML document is parsed by the browser and turned into the DOM or document object model. In other words, when each time you load a web page inside a browser, the web browser generates an internal representation of the page in the form of tree structure, which is called DOM or document object model. If you right click and inspect this web page, when you look at the panel, whatever developer tools you are using, that shows you stuff that look like HTML. This is the visual representation of the DOM. It was created directly from the HTML code. In most cases, the visual representation of the DOM will be just like your simple HTML. There can be one possibility. You might make some mistake in your HTML code and the browser can fix them for you. Let us say if you have a paragraph element in your HTML document and you forget to add the closing tag of your P element or paragraph element. I'll remove this paragraph element from the HTML code. I'll save this script and I'll refresh this web page. The browser will just add the closing tag for you. It will be there in the DOM, but you would not see it inside the view source. If I refresh this view source, you can see that the closing tag is missing. I will bring back this closing P tag. I'll save this HTML document. I'll refresh the source code and the web page. The HTML document model is constructed as tree of HTML element objects. You can manipulate the DOM using the JavaScript. With JavaScript, you can change HTML elements and its attributes. You can also change the style of an element. You can add new elements, and you can also remove elements from the existing elements. As I said before, it acts as a live data structure. When it is modified, the page on the screen is updated to reflect the changes. All of these HTML elements are defined as objects, and they have properties and methods, and with the help of these properties and methods you can generate dynamic web pages. In the HTML DOM, everything is node. The document itself is a document node. The document object is the root node of the HTML document and the owner of all other nodes. All these HTML elements are elements nodes. These are HTML elements nodes. All the HTML attributes like type attribute, name, and value are also attribute nodes. Text inside each element is considered the text node, and comments are also nodes. In my coming lectures, I'll start manipulating web page elements using JavaScript DOM.